What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Second Street. I hope you're all having a very good day today. Here we are on New Comic Book Wednesday, and we are here at the eve of Thanksgiving. I hope you're all having a very good day today, whether you're at work, whether you've got the day off, whether your kids are off of school for the week or anything like that, as mine are, and you're getting ready to get together with your family and your family members for Thanksgiving to get together and, you know, just have Thanksgiving dinner, a big old dinner. You know, it's always a good time, and I realize the way 2020 has been, there may be a lot of people who aren't going to be getting together with their loved ones, social distancing, quarantining, all of those things. And hey, I totally get that. I totally understand. But I really do hope that you get a chance to connect with your loved ones here over the holidays. Remember, we can't take advantage of these times. You certainly can't. And so yeah, guys, New Comic Book Wednesday. Gonna go over some of the comic books that I brought home from the comic book shop this week. And as I said before, guys, I think we're probably going to do something, figure out some other sort of videos to get shot at the comic book shop, maybe reviews and things like that. Because like the comic book pull list videos, while they're cool and they're fun to go ahead and get there in the comic book shop and shoot, the one thing is like on Mondays I usually drop, you know, the what's on your pull list videos where I show you what I'm going to be bringing home from the comic book shop and ask you what's on your pull list. I mean, is that something that, should I really do that on Monday and then do a comic book pull list video on Wednesday? I don't know. I've been thinking about ways to reformat some of the things, some of the videos and things like that as well. And one of the things that I've thought about as I was sitting down getting ready to read some books last night and review, I'm like, man, I got a lot of this book or that book to review. And one thing I decided, I think what I'm going to do is maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll do some kind of weekends, you know, like I've done some of those, like the weekend, you know, a weekend Vault Comics, the weekend Aftershock, you know, where I cover like basically all of those issues that I got for the week from Image Comics, from Vault Comics and stuff like that. And then what I'm going to start doing is maybe a monthly showcase, like Vault Comics this month. What did we have and what we have upcoming? Now, I thought of this last night as I was going through the new previews that just dropped as well, because we do have the new preview solicits here that I'm going to go over this weekend with the Myrtle Maniacs. And, you know, I was thinking I may actually drop some videos on those as well, instead of just doing the whole little long live stream. So then we can do like what's coming up in February with Image Comics, what's coming up in February with Vault Comics, you know, on and on through the whole thing. And then there's little shorter videos that you can watch instead of having to tune in for a 90-minute long live stream where I'm pretty much ignoring the chat. That's why it's Myrtle Maniacs only, because we need to get through all of the solicits, because as thick as the book is, it takes a while to get through them. Even if I just flip through it, not talking or anything, just like sitting down and flipping through it, it takes a little while to go through. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys, how you guys feel about all of those things, because ultimately, like, as much as it is making the content and enjoying what I'm doing, I do enjoy making the content and talking about these comic books and things. It's also very much up to you. Like, what would you guys like to see? You know, and I certainly know that some of the books I will definitely do more thorough reviews on, like number ones, especially. Maybe just do like 2 at a time. Like here's issue number 1 and 2. Like I've reviewed. I haven't dropped them on the channel. I've reviewed the Department of Truth issues 1 and 2, and I've got the reviews here on my computer. I got them shot. I've never uploaded them. I've never edited them and uploaded. Some of them just gets busy, a whole lot of stuff, you know. And then sometimes I look at them and I'm like, I don't quite like this. Sometimes it's the format, but maybe I just need to put out those kind of reviews and things like that that I don't maybe necessarily like for you guys to watch, because maybe you guys might enjoy them more so than me, the person that watches them. Because sometimes I watch them like, oh, so cringe. But anyway, guys, New Comic Book Day. Let's get into the live chats and say what's up with everybody. Now, before I get into that, I do want to say the Ten of Swords Destruction came this week. That's right, the Ten of Swords event is done, and this pretty much marks the end of all of my my comic book pull list as far as Marvel and DC are concerned. DC has a couple of series that I'm going to finish out. We've got the Dark Knight's Death Metal. Yeah, I'm going to bite the bullet on that one. And Deceased has a couple issues left. And then not only that, I think as far as Marvel is concerned, I'm probably pretty much done pulling Marvel books. It's going to be indies from here on out. I will collect trades in a lot of these, and yeah, I think the only Marvel book that's going to be left on my comic book pull list is Captain Marvel. And I know maybe you're saying like Captain Marvel, and I've talked about this before. Is like, look, this seems to be the only comic book that Marvel is doing that seems to have issues that go up in value, seems to have new characters introduced in them and things like that. And the story itself, yeah, it's all right. It's not bad. It's not good. It's okay. It's tolerable. It's just it's like so much Marvel these days. But that's probably like the only one because I'm like, oh hey, if some of these go up in value, and I'm telling you, I've seen some of the raw values on some of these Captain Marvel books. I'm like, really? Like, all right. And they're not high. They're not high. Like, if you got a 10.0 Captain Marvel book on a lot of them, they're like $10. I'm like, really? $10? Anyway, I'm not a speculator. I'm not a collector. I'm a reader, and I collect through reading. It's not for collection purposes. Like I'm trying to, do like some of these dudes do when they're out on a date, and you whip out your big old comic collection and show it to you show it to it like, check out my big comic collection. You can't quite do that with your iPad. You whip out your iPad. Maybe you have to have the iPad Pro or something like, yeah, check out my big comic collection, girl. And I'm kidding. I am kidding. Guys, thank you all so much for being here. Let's see who all we have in the chats today. We got Yova Rodz. Dang, why did I forget that? You know what it is? Because Max got me started. Yova Rodz, how are you doing this morning? Hope all is well. ReeferMan Reviews. XR Coon, how are you doing? All the great people. My favorite Porter, Mike Porter, Alois Dottle, how are you doing? Yeah. Dan the Man says, been saying this for the longest. Oh, what's that? What's that? Oh, for the like on the stories, some of the stories and stuff? Yeah. Yeah, Dan the Man is here also. I know. What's up, man? My bro's friend is coming, and that means I finally get to talk nerd stuff with someone in person. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the best. ReeferMan says, sounds like a good format to me. All right. Mr. Me, thank you so much for being here. Says, I've taken all Marvel off my pull list. I pick up Batman, but apart from that, everything is indie. Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at. And that's why I say it's not like here's the thing. And I even see my man Ryan from Nerdy Blurb TV tweet out yesterday about Marvel books. And it's even with DC. And it's not that they're bad. It's not that they're bad. It's just that they're not that great. You know what I mean? It's kind of like I read them and I'm like, all right, there's a story. There's a story. And it's not like I have super high expectations or anything, but I want something that's interesting, it's fun, adventurous. And you can do all of that within these things. And we see spots of it in some of the books, just not all the time. Got a vacuum all back, all right? Yeah. But yeah, like the indies is because like for one, I think one of the things with the indies is like I will tolerate a lot more in an indie for sure because like people talk all about like these days, the people who really hate Marvel and DC these days talk about the politics and comic books and the representations and all that stuff. Well, I get that argument with I understand that argument with some of the Marvel and DC stuff where when it comes to indies, that's okay. That's your world. That's what you get to do. You, as the writer, get to build that world in whatever way you want. Now, that's not to say that it's always going to be good and it's always going to work out, or to say that you can even tell a good and interesting story, telling the story you want to tell. But that is the place to do it. Because I see a lot of these books, especially, there's one actually being solicited by Aftershock Comics coming up in February. I read the description and I'm like, of course he is. Of course it is. Of course. Yeah, it does. Modern comics. But the thing is like, it's based on a true story. Of course it is. But I read the description of it. I'm like, I don't care if this main character is black, white, whatever, Indian, it doesn't matter, Cuban, Brazilian, I don't care. This story sounds like a story that I want to read. It sounds like something like, remember that movie American Gangster? Or maybe even that movie, yeah, or like Scarface, like it reminded me of that. And I'm like that's one of those stories, where Captain America, I'm sorry to say, but Captain America is a white dude that took some super soldier serum and became Captain America. All right. Black Panther. It's just that he's Black Panther. He's T'Challa. He was, born in the nation of Wakanda. He's not a white guy. Because if you change that about those characters, they're not really that, right? It's different. It's different. I don't care who you are. I know. People like that stuff in the comic books. But the thing is just like I'm saying with indies, you can create these new characters, and there's nothing wrong with that. People will accept new characters as long as you write a good, compelling character with a good story, and you continue to flesh it out. And you got to keep at it. You got to keep at it. A lot of characters these days that have been in these Marvel books, these DC books, are characters that have been kind of kicked around. Some of them joked about, laughed at, and all kinds of stuff. And you can see that some of them have stood the test of time and are still good, prominent characters. Now, of course, when we talk about A-list, B-list, and all that stuff, there's not really a whole lot of A-list characters out there from Marvel or DC or anybody anyway, right? There's really only a handful. Really only like a few for each company. So taking those kinds of things into account, I think, is something that's important as well. So you can't expect every character is going to knock it out of the park and sell all kinds of books. And I think they know that. But there's still got to be a gauge to where it's quality, good storytelling, and things like that really make it good, that people can really sink their teeth into. And they can do it. It's doable. People do it. We've seen plenty of characters come in and have success with these sort of things. So anyway, guys, let's get in here and see what else you guys are saying. But yeah, I hear you there. Star Wars Santa, happy hump day. How are you doing, guys? Star Wars Santa is getting ready to go live in a few minutes. If you like Star Wars content and you want to hear somebody who has the love for Star Wars content, make sure you go check out Star Wars Santa. Speaking of which, did you guys check that Den of Nerds live stream out this morning? Man, I'm telling you, man. Is Lord Callus not the friggin' man? Is Lord Callus not the friggin' man? Lord Callus is the friggin' man, okay? Now, the one thing I gotta say to anybody out there watching, you're welcome. You're welcome. And you're probably like, welcome for what, Trinity? Now, I'm telling you, I'm getting ready to be kind of NSFW for a second, not safe for work, in case you don't know what that means. Getting ready to curse, so put on your earmuffs, okay? But you can thank me for Lord Callus, because I tried to tell Josh, like, for probably well over a fucking year, that he needs to have Lord Callus on that show. On his show. Bring him onto streams. Like, he had me on there going on and talking about comic. Nobody gives a shit about comic books. Nobody gives a shit about comic books. And he stopped having me on his show because of it. And I get it, because, like, really, it's a reality. It is. It's a reality. But the one thing I was trying to tell him for a long time, forever, is you need to get Lord Callus on your damn show. And until he did, I wasn't trying to suggest anybody else. Tunnel vision, and he got him there. And also because I know Josh is kind of picky about stuff too, like who he brings onto his channel and stuff like that. A little different on the streams. I mean, he had me on there. But I tried to tell him for almost a freaking year that he needs to get fucking Lord Callus onto his damn channel. Because this man is the man when it comes to lore, legends, and all of the EU. This guy's a fucking expert. Alright? Tried to tell him for a long time. For whatever reason, he didn't want to listen. And he finally did it. And he finally brought him on the show and made him a regular. And it's about time. It's about time. So, I mean, seriously. big shout out to my man Lord Callus. Glad to see finally getting fucking up there and getting some recognition. That video that you dropped yesterday on the Den of Nerds, that's fucking fire, bro. Love it. Love it. And that stream this morning, dude, like, I could listen to, you know what? It's not even just Josh. Like, Josh is cool. You know, I love the Den of Nerds, Josh and all that stuff, but I could listen to Lord Callus talk about that nerd Star Wars shit for fucking, like, all day. Right? All day. I could listen to that dude talk. You know? Just bring different people in to talk to him to ask different shit. That's all you really need. Fuck. Yeah, anyway. Anyway, let's get back into the live chats and see what you all are saying. ReeferMan says, tolerable is not acceptable. Yeah. Got a vacuum, I'll be back. Alright, yeah. I hear you. AirSpider23, thank you so much for being here. I hope you're having a good day. Mr. Me, indies are so much more creative. Yeah, and I think it's because, like, the writers are telling their own story and something they're probably a little more passionate about and a little more engaged into. I won't say that it's because, like, all these other writers are bad or anything like that. Some of them, you know, some of it too, I think is, you know, like, when, you know, those positive words of encouragement, and that's okay. We all need encouragement. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with encouraging people. But sometimes you get the stuff where it's like, oh, you're doing good, and you continue to prop somebody up, and it's like, you're not doing that good, and we need to do better. Like, you can't continuously prop somebody up. But yeah, I think they are. Kyle McKay says, I think Hickman should give directing a shot. The man Kevin should let him try to do X-Men in the MCU. And we're gonna get into that in just a minute. But I don't know. I don't know about directing, because not everybody's a good director. I mean, take a look at even The Mandalorian, and you can see some great examples right there of directors, people who have experience, people who have little experience, people who are gaining experience and stuff like that. I'm not sure if Jonathan Hickman has that desire in him. Certainly, he could write some scripts. I mean, a lot of the MCU stuff is, some of it's based on his work and stuff like that. So yeah. Yeah. See, and ReeferMan said it before I even got there. Yeah, Star Wars says Lord Callus is the man. So is Hickman's run over? Well, here's the thing, like, not that I know of. Here's the thing with that. No, before man, but it's over for our man Trinity here. No. Don Shot 24 says, so is Hickman not doing X-Men anymore? Okay, I missed the 8 minutes. What did I miss? Nothing much. Something about Callus. Yeah. Anonymous says Star Wars is great. Yeah. Callus made the stream. Yeah, Callus the man. Could have been better if Disney hadn't touched it. Here's the thing, though, is would it have, though? I mean, it could have. It could have. It could have been just fine with Disney touching it. It could have been just fine. It could have been fine with Disney just touching it like it was... No, I better not make that reference. It could have been just fine, though. It could have been just fine. They needed the right people. They didn't have all the right people there. They didn't have a plan when going into it, it didn't seem like. And I don't want to hear anybody say, but George Lucas 40 years ago didn't have a plan of blah, blah, blah. It's the argument destroys itself right there. 40 years ago. Didn't have a plan. 40 years ago, you got people who are die-hard friggin' fans of this stuff. You don't make a trilogy without a friggin' plan for something like that. You know how rabid these fans are. You know what the original trilogy did. You know how people reacted to the sequel trilogy. And then you come out and you crap the bed with that. Enough so much that people actually love the prequel trilogy? The prequel trilogy's not that bad. But that's the thing. You needed a plan. I don't want to hear that. Well, George Lucas didn't have a plan. Sorry. See what you did? See what you did to me? See what you did? Yeah, I was trying. Yeah. Okay, been a while since I caught one of these, but since I didn't work, here I am. Thank you so much for being here, Z Collects. I hope you're doing well. Nerdy Blurb TV, my man, what is up? How are you doing? Yeah, yeah. Oh man. Now the Hickman thing that I want to talk about here, guys, is in this new issue. in this latest issue of X-Men, now we're going into spoilers here for the Ten of Swords. Now, the only reason I did this is on Twitter yesterday. I took a picture of something that's in this book, in the new X-Men issue, and it's something in here where they are talking about the X-Men. This particular thing right here. Now, I totally didn't do it to like shit post and get people to react. I would never do that. I would never do that. I would never take the pot and stir it. But it was based on this right here. All right. It's based on this right here. You know, these lovely white pages that we get here in the X-Men. And when I was reading it, or in this Dawn of X, when I was reading it, it made me think back to, God, what's it been, like 2 years ago now? Nah. Was it last year? I'm thinking it might have been 2 years ago now. I'm pretty sure it was. I think it was. No. It was last year. Had to be last year. Because this weekend, Sunday, is actually my 2-year anniversary here on YouTube. So it was a year ago. A little over a year ago. About 18 months ago. Victoria Alonso was doing this interview. And it was Louis Lecca. You guys probably know from the Nerd Report. I can't remember what was the name of that nuclear fridge. I can't remember the name of that particular channel or where he was doing it on. But he interviewed Victoria Alonso, and she came out, and he was asking about the X-Men coming up in the MCU. And Victoria Alonso, she goes, "Oh, you know, X-Men, it's so funny you use that name because it's so outdated, because there are so many strong female people on that team also, right?" Ooh, and you know how this set YouTube and the internet ablaze. X-Men, oh, hell, even I did a video about it. That's right, because it's like, seriously. She goes, because in the interview, she says, X-Men, I don't even know why you call them that. Because he was talking about how the MCU and Disney had just acquired Fox and the X-Men from, you know, into their stable, and how they were going to go forward with the X-Men movie. She goes, X-Men, I don't know why you even call them that. And here's the thing, it's like, gee, because let's just go back and take a look at the history of the X-Men, especially in movies, especially in the movies. All right. Now, this excerpt that I posted yesterday to stir the pot a little bit has something to do with that. But here, let's just take a look. What was the first one called? X-Men, right? What was the next one? X-Men 2. X-Men United. Wasn't that what it was? X-Men United? Something like that? What was the third one called? X-Men... What was the name of that third X-Men? Was it just X3? It wasn't just X-Men 3. Damn if I remember. But let's take a look. What else did they have? Oh! X-Men Origins. Wolverine. X-Men First Class. X-Men Days of Future Past. X-Men Apocalypse. Ooh, you know what it was? It was that one they did. The Wolverine, right? Maybe it was Logan. Maybe it was Dark Phoenix, because remember they dropped the X-Men from that? Point being, you know, I even did a video about it. Yeah, that's probably why, Victoria. That's probably why. I mean, you're like a big producer here with this stuff. If I'm not mistaken, you're an executive producer, so you should know damn well why we call it the X-Men. Because every movie's been called the X-Men. The first comic book that came out about the X-Men, it's called the Uncanny X-Men. So, gee, I wonder why they call it the X-Men. But anyway, so she did this interview and said that, and of course, you know, like I said, even I did a video about it. Everybody was reading about it online. And Kevin Feige even mentioned in an interview one time, like, oh, X-Men, who knows how soon we've got the next 5 years planned. And then everything kind of goes on, and it's kind of making me think at this point, maybe we're not going to get an X-Men film. Right? Right? Because of many things. Not only that interview where somebody obviously don't know why the team is called the X-Men. Hey, I'm the producer. I don't know why they call them the X-Men. But also because of stuff like this. And this is all your fault, humans. Because of your constant ability to shut out others. You gatekeepers, you humans, who hate mutants. You fear mutants. You fear mutants so much, you call me X-Men. And you simply just think that all mutants are X-Men. Oh, somebody's a mutant, they must be an X-Man. They must be one of those bad mutants who fights against humans. Right? Your intolerable referencing of mutants. Humans like you disgust me. Now, this is a note to the Krakoan government. Regarding the X-Men, it says, furthermore, it is a suggestion of this body that the familiar moniker of the Xavier School be eliminated. This council sees no need and only potential complications in the continued acceptance and use of the name X-Men as an active term implying agents of mutantdom. It is in the best interest of Krakoa and all mutants if the only authority and higher representation rests entirely with the Quiet Council. This is delicate work we do. We cannot afford the slightest societal crack. So from this day forward, the X-Men are no more. It says, note, the familiarity of the term X-Men makes its use unavoidable, as it is often freely, though incorrectly, interchanged with the term mutant, especially among human allies and adversaries, or used to add a patina of mutant nobility to an individual who is already part of a noble race. It is, therefore, in the short term, best practice to simply ignore its usage while we transition away from the old models of celebrated mutant paragons. So now I ask you, folks, reading that, what does that sound like to you? I'll give you a hint. Dan Slott was drugged through the mud last week for doing something kind of similar, but maybe opposite. Last week, in the Fantastic Four book or something that he wrote with Franklin Richards, right? We all heard about that, right? Did you all hear about that? Yeah, Santa streaming, Mike Porter. Yeah. How can I watch both? Oh, I know. Oh, man. He had a plan, he just changed it. Oh, yeah. Trinity, you'll be happy to hear I've been getting a lot of hate about your Nostalgia Wars question being much harder. You'll be happy to hear that I've been getting a lot of hate about your Nostalgia Wars questions being much harder than your competition. Oh! Hey, they were. You got those easy Superman ones. That's funny. Yep. That's funny. I got Sloppy Toppy in the movie theater during Attack of the Clones. I can't say I have all bad memories of the prequels. Yeah. I don't know what's Sloppy Toppy, but I'm not even sure if I want to know. Do I? I like the prequels though. Yeah, I use PS4 to watch Trinity and my phone to watch Santa. Although I haven't gone over there yet because I also use my phone to talk here. Oh, right. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, yeah. Oh well, Santa has a beard too. He's got yeah. Music Santa. Oh, he's streaming. Yeah. Oh, okay. Better be okay. Yeah. Exits. Yeah. People. You can't use X because you can't name after a because you can't name after a straight white man, right? Louis the 13th, thank you so much for being here. Now it's 6 years because 1 year didn't happen. 6 years. I must have missed something there. Two Gun Pedro, my man, how are you doing? They used to be Ben, but now they aren't. Right. Mr. Me says, just call it. The strong, independent people of no certain gender or sex with mutant abilities, all of equal power. Right. I love that. That's a great name for it. Hey guys, did you pick up that new issue of the strong, independent people of no certain gender or sex with mutant abilities of all of equal power? Can we come up with an acronym for that? You know, that's a mouthful. Oh, but two things. Where are the X-Men, and do people not know that men, like guys, can be used as an umbrella term for a group of people? No, yeah. Yeah. Oh, you didn't hear about it? Okay. Last week, okay, Dan Slott came out in his X-Men the Fantastic Four series, and he did, like, you know, everybody's calling a retcon, which everybody's saying House of X and Powers of X is a retcon, but you know, we could argue that one all day. It's not. But Dan Slott in Fantastic Four had wrote that Franklin Richards, he had Professor Xavier go to Franklin Richards and tell him, "You're not a mutant, pal. You never were. No matter how much you want to be one or this or that or blah, 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 blah. You're not a mutant." Basically saying, like, biology proves that you're not a mutant. There's reasons for that. And a lot of people were upset about that because they were thinking that it was, what do they call that? Turfing? I think that's what it's called. I don't pay attention to this kind of stuff. That kind of stuff. People were thinking that he was out there, you know, shots fired at the people in the LGBT community, especially the T part. People were upset at Dan Slott because apparently Professor Xavier telling Franklin Richards that he's not a mutant, he never was, and as much as he wants to be, he can never really be a mutant because, you know, like, just wishing that you, like, you get it, right? Dan Slott was under fire for that last week for writing something in a fictional tale about fictional characters in fictional situations. This is where we're at, y'all. This fiction, it means that much. And believe me, I know this fiction means that much to people. I do. And that's okay to take our fiction, these things we love, and hold them dear. But to the point where you hold it so dear that you think it's like fucking reality, you've lost your mind. It's like the Star Wars thing. Like, Disney Star Wars hurt you so much that, like, you can't just fucking forget about it. You know, just like flush it and be like, fuck that. You know? It's like the same thing. It's a fiction. Like, it's not reality, pal. It's not reality. Dan Slott wrote a fucking story about a fictional character in a fictional situation with fictional Fictional, 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 fictional. But seriously, that's what it's come down to, and this is because you have to see yourself in these roles, in these. It has to be you. They have to represent you. They have to. They have to. But that's the thing. What we've got here is a situation not unlike that, right? How dare you pigeonhole all mutants to be X-Men? We're not all badasses that go out there and fight against humans with our powers. You guys are some insufferable. Oh, God. I don't even know what to call you. Like, bigot is too nice of a term. Mutant haters. I bet you call them muties. But anyway, the point being is this was all in this book, and it's not as bad as most people would assume that it is. I posted this thing on Twitter yesterday, and people like were fucking upset, and I get it. But here's the thing: is it's done the way the context. Again, context means a lot, guys. Right? Of course, I posted that picture out of context because out of context, that's gonna make a motherfucker mad. Especially the way everything's gone on. Especially with the way everything's gone on through Ten of Swords, or just anyway. So out of context it is. But the thing going on here with the X-Men is that they basically wanted to disassociate from that term, the nation of Krakoa and everything. But here's the thing: in this issue, I know my man Captain Pennsylvania, the son of Scotty Summers himself, would be proud of Scotty Summers and his leadership ability in this particular book. Because this week in X-Men, Cyclops wasn't taking no shit from anybody. He walked into the Quiet Council, pretty much told them all what's up and to fuck off. And he went to the Quiet Council and said, look, you guys are fighting a losing battle over there in Otherworld. My son's injured. He called out to us. And I know. Now I'm, my son's, he's old enough to take care of himself, and I know I'm getting ready to go over there. I'm going to hug him, and I'm going to kiss him. I'm going to wipe his butt and piss him. That's right. I'm going to change his little diaper and make him feel better. And the Quiet Council said, you probably shouldn't, because we need Krakoa to survive, and, they're over there fighting for us, and, and even Mr. Sinister's sitting there telling me, like, bro, don't even do it. And the Quiet Council pretty much turned against him and Jean and said, you're not going to be part of it. If you leave to go to Otherworld to save your son, you're giving up your positions on the Quiet Council. And this is when Cyclops turns and says, I don't really care. It's my son. I don't care if I am the captain, and in times of war, I get to make these decisions and all this and that. And they said, well, that's fine. You're going to be giving up your position, but not like that. And that's when we get this note about the X-Men and how they are no more, and how he's probably the one who actually wrote this memo. And he came in and said, you know what? No. Scott Summers came in and put his foot down and said, no. He went up there to him and said, shh. He says, we are the X-Men. The X-Men are Krakoa's superheroes. We are Mutantdom's superheroes. And we will march through this gate, go to the Otherworld, and save all of our people. And there's nothing that you're going to say that's going to change my mind. Whether you want to strip me of my power, get rid of me as your captain commander on the Quiet Council, I don't give a shit. My son's over there hurting. Our people are over there dying. I'm going to save them. You're not going to stop me. And they all voted against it. And before he left, the one thing that they asked him, you know, what is, let's just get here into it, because I love the way he says this. They tell him, this is just a great conversation here where they're telling him to take a hike. And Magneto asks him, he says, "What are you going to do, son?" He says, "Look, this is freaking great. I'm telling you, Captain Pennsylvania is going to love this." Scotty says, "I know that risking everything we built for a few lives doesn't work for all of you. I understand you don't have the luxury of thinking that way. I really do. But hearing you say it out loud, tasting it in my mouth, I find it unacceptable. So I do not accept it. You formed the Quiet Council to be the government on Krakoa. Well, the X-Men are its heroes. And we will save those who need saving, whatever the cost." And so when he reaches out to Jean and says, "You ready?" And she says, "I've been waiting on you, dear." To which Magneto and Professor Xavier both look up, smiles on their face, dignity, pride in their hearts. And they say, "Good boy," as he marches off to Otherworld to save all of the mutants and his son. And I'm telling you, man, it's just a great scene that goes on here. Now, that's the thing. I posted this stuff yesterday knowing that people are going to get upset, knowing everything that's going on here. And I think, we've been looking at the MCU, and, especially after that Victoria, like, I really think that is probably how they're going to end up doing the X-Men in the MCU, bringing them in, is it's going to be mutants, not X-Men. Which I think is important. That's something that they noted in here. And I love the way that they did it, because it's done in that way, like I said, stirring the pot, man. Stirring the fucking pot yesterday on Twitter. Well, there's only a couple people that reacted to it, but like you see that clip, you see that thing about the X-Men, like, oh, we need to get rid of this. It's synonymous with, well, yeah, sure, it's synonymous. And Scotty Summers said, "I don't give a damn." Great stuff, man, I'm telling you. Altogether, 10 of Swords is over now. The event, wasn't that great. It was okay. There was some cool stuff that happened here and there. For the most part, They could have just reinstalled the Captain Britain core and been done with it, right? Couldn't they just, like, woo, I'm Lady Saturday, look what I can do. Anyway. Alright, I have no computer. Oh, there's something wrong with it. Why do people have to get mad at the truth? Yeah. Popped over there and Santa was just unboxing stuff. Oh, he's already, okay. I'll have to go check it when I'm done here. I'll check it out. Yeah, fictional opera. Better than Klingon opera. Alright, Star Wars Santa. Alright. Released a oh, okay, it was a pre-recorded premiere. Okay, I thought it was a live stream. Sweet. I'll have to go check it out then. Charles Baldwin III says, "I saw a video on this. The SJW morons. X-Men is outdated." Yeah, Charles Baldwin. Yeah. It was great too. It was yeah, it was on what was the name of that? Nuke the Fridge. I think that was it. Nuke the Fridge. I think it was Nuke the Fridge, but it was Louis Lecca, and he was there interviewing Victoria Alonso, and she said, yeah. Mike Porter says, "I'm still butthurt from all fiction. It hurts my biddle feelings." It hurt my widow feelings. Oh, dang. XR Coon and cites fighting words and says Cyclops is trash. Oof, man, I gotta tell you, man. Right now, man, I'm telling you, this week he got me like, yes. Except for the fact that he is going to baby his little son. Like, oh, my poor Will boy got in some trouble. I gotta go bail him out. I gotta go bail out my Will son Cable. Oh, man. Yeah, I'll check that out. So, yeah. This your live boy. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'll be watching the matter of fact, as soon as this is over, I'll probably be going to watch that. It's not Krakoa. It's on. It's not Krakoa. It's on Kraka. It's on Kraka. Oh, gotta jump for a long meeting. Have a happy day and have a happy you have a happy Thanksgiving as well, Star Wars Santa. Can't wait to see you. Comic Assassin, thank you so much for being here. I hope all is well with you, man. I hope all is well. And Cap Game. Okay, all right. I was wondering. I was like, because I know that name looked familiar. I knew that name looked familiar. All right, good deal. Yeah, good deal. Nice. Thank you for being here, man. Mr. Fatal J says Cyclops was only dope during the Chris Claremont days. Yeah, certainly. Yeah, it seems like a lot of the time he's really been kind of over, just like, because he's supposed to be like one of the leaders, right? But he's not really like it seems like they've always kind of stepped on his character, you know what I mean? Like, he's always brought down a little bit. Like, you can't just let him have a victory. You can't let him have a win. You know, you can't just let him be a great leader. Absolutely. And thank you so much for being here, Fatal J. I hope you're doing good, man. So, tuning in and watching the Dark Council for a little while last night. Yeah, man, good stuff. Always good stuff. But yeah, like Scotty Summer, like he needs like what's going on in this book is like Scotty needs this. He needs to have some moments of step up. Like, yes, I am a strong, competent leader. He at least needs those times. And it was great to see it in this book. Now, the one other thing that I thought was cool about seeing this too was the same thing with Magneto. Because this is something that we've seen in a story earlier. I think it was in Powers of X. No, it was House of X. Where Scott Summers said the same thing about Magneto. When, no, you know what? Maybe it was in X-Men early on. Where Magneto came in after kicking some ass. And all the kids were like, oh, Magneto! You know, like, he's the greatest hero ever. And, you know, they were like, it's kind of strange to see. And they say about Magneto, like he deserves this. Like, you know, Scott says that about Magneto and the way he is and the way he's soaking it up, being like this great hero to the mutant children. And Scott says this has been a long time coming, and he deserves this. We all deserve it. You know, kind of like it's been a long time coming. And that's something that I'm seeing in this story. What happened here in this week's issue with X-Men was seeing Scott Summers finally get some recognition here. Like, come on, guys. No matter how you feel about him, he needs some of that. This character does. He needs some wins. I mean, besides, Wolverine's banging his woman, right? I don't know. That remains to be seen. Of course, he has some of the people out there who follow all that fan fiction art on Twitter probably have you believing that he's banging Cyclops. But, you know, you gotta dig a little bit deeper than that and find out that that's fan art. But anyway, guys, let's see. Yeah, I sent you a message. I think it was on Instagram. Oh, yeah. I got it, ReeferMan. I got it. Charles Baldwin says, also, everyone F the government and go spend time with your families. Absolutely. I mean, especially in these times. These are the times we need it. I've had friends, you know, and it's a big deal. But you hear all these stories where, you know, their grandmother was dying and they couldn't go see him in the hospital because of this stuff. That's sad and that's tragic. But yeah, absolutely. Spend time with your families. It's what this time is for. But anyway, guys, that's really all I have to talk about today. Again, like I said, you know, on Mondays I started doing the pull list videos, what I'm pulling on my pull list. So I don't know. I feel like pull list videos seem like they're kind of pointless at this point. But yeah, the ten of swords. It's done. It's a done deal. It's all in the books. It's all and you see that. I had to get that cover because you know what? I don't know. I just like magic. I like Ileana Rasputin. I don't know what it is about her. I really like it. I really like her and her. Just I don't know. This character is really growing on me for sure. But also I did drop my review for The Plot, issue number 7, just yesterday. I got an advanced copy from the VP of branding and what is it? The VP of branding and design for Vault Comics. That is Tim Daniel. Sent out a copy over the weekend. I got to read, reviewed it, dropped it. Guys, go out and buy. If you want a good horror story, this one's a good one. It's not like bloody horror, all that kind of gory, but what you got is you're seeing all these this kind of family drama that is kind of this family feud that's kind of been going on in the city of Cape Augusta, Maine, where basically people are sacrificing people to the land to make the land flourish so it's livable. And that's kind of what we see going on in the plot. Great book. Issue number 7 just came out. Issue number 8 will come out, should be coming out next month. And that will be tying it up. Volume 2 will be done, and I will probably do a giveaway for Volume 2 of the plot as well. I did do a giveaway for Volume 1, and I announced it in my review for issue number 5, I believe it was, of the plot. And I neglected to review issue number 6 to reveal who the winner of that giveaway was, but I announced it yesterday. Go watch the video. Very good stuff. But the plot, one of my favorite ones. Got this also, The Multiverse Who Laughs. I didn't get a chance to read this yet, but I've been reading all these death metal. This is one of the few titles that I'm gonna finish out reading before I pull all Marvel and DC from my comic book pull list. One of the last ones. I'm gonna finish out the Dark Knight's death metal. I'm gonna finish out Deceased. Done with DC after that. Marvel, I'm finishing out. Captain Marvel's staying on my pull list, and that's it. Done with Marvel. And I explained why I'm keeping Captain Marvel on my pull list. The other one I got, Shang-Chi here. Gonna review this one. This series has actually been okay. And here's the thing, when it comes to these series that are actually pretty good that Marvel puts out, they're always 5-issue miniseries. They're always short series. And here's the other thing is nobody reads them. Shang-Chi isn't like a new character or anything. He's been around for a long time. But people put out these books and people don't read them. Arrow, remember that one? Go watch Chillmonger's video about the book Arrow. A-E-R-O. One of the new heroes of Marvel Comics. Freaking great book. 12 issues in. Canceled. Done. You know why? Because you didn't read it. People say, oh, we want this representation. We want new characters. Don't be changing our characters that we've had forever. Don't change Captain America. Don't change Black Widow. Don't change the Hulk. Don't change all these characters. Don't change Tony Stark. Yes, and I believe that. Don't change and bring in new characters. You want diversity and representation. Do it, and do it right. And they did that. They did that. With Arrow. With Shang-Chi. Only to get a 12-issue series out of each one of them. You know why? I'm guessing because nobody was reading them. There wasn't enough demand. And I am telling you, Arrow is a great friggin' book. Go out and buy it on a trade. I can guarantee you, this book, it reads like a manga. It's way better in trade than it is in the single issues. I will guarantee you that. Which I know, you might say, then why keep it around if the single issues don't sell? Because it's still good. And that's what you do. You want to hook people in and get them into it. Arrow was a great book. Swordmaster was a good book. But nobody read them. So they got canceled. But, like, shit like this still going on. Have you read this? Have you read this Captain America lately? Like, at least, like, the last 25, 10 issues should just be called Captain Carter. It's not even really about Captain America. But yeah, just really good, like I said, Marvel's pretty much done on my pull list. But guys, I'm telling you, it was an absolutely great week in comic books, guys. And now, you're like, what are you talking? An absolute, I'm being Oh, okay. Absolute Comics Group. These guys, they do crowdfunding projects. They started like White Widow through crowdfunding and stuff like that. They do Kickstarters, but they've got this comic company, Absolute Comics Group, which they are building their own shared universe. And they just started releasing some books this week, and it looks like they're releasing all of their books at once. Like when they come out, and it looks like it's not every month, but they dump all of them the same week. And hey, it's something you're just gonna have to expect. Hey, whatever you got to do. But like, look right here, we got I Make Boys Cry issue number 1. I can't wait to get into this. This one, if I'm not mistaken, actually crosses over into the White Widow series as well. Can't wait to read that one. My man Two Gun Pedro, if he's still here in the chats, man, he sent me out a care package not too long ago, an AOK, man. And he sent me some White Widow books. He sent me this one that's got like a preview of I Make Boys Cry from the Comic-Con last year. Really great stuff, man. And I love the books these guys are doing. Absolute Comics Group, Darkon, issue number 2. This one is somewhat like a Doctor Strange, where they are getting into a dark world, dark worlds and magic and stuff like that. I thought it was a pretty good. For issue number 1 was really good. Dual Identity. This is another one taking place in this shared universe, because this one actually crosses over. This book actually crosses over into the White Widow series. Dual Identity is about a character called Andromeda, who has a dual identity, and she is both a good guy and a bad guy. And she works for this this corporation, and she goes out and, you know, they just do espionage type of work, and, you know, they got their bodies injected with nanites and all kinds of stuff. Pretty cool stuff. The other one, First Defense. This one right here is about the first daughter, or not necessarily just the first daughter, but the first kids. The firstborn child of all the presidents end up being superheroes that kind of safeguard the world, or the United States, from threats. Probably the world too. So yeah, that's pretty good. Katrina, issue number 2 as well. This book was pretty interesting. This one, again, has to do with like vampires. I would say maybe vampires, witchcraft, magic, dark arts, where it's taking place in it looks like it's taking place in New Orleans around the time of Hurricane Katrina. Very good story going on there in that one as well. Then these two right here are kind of the they feed into each other as well in this shared universe. Wayward Legends and Wayward Sons. Wayward Legends is kind of where it was kind of like the jumping off point, the starting point for the Absolute Comics Group universe, their shared universe, if you will. This is kind of where it all started, the lore and everything, where we see the Wayward Legends coming to Earth and being stranded on Earth back in the day with, like, you know, cavemen. And then Wayward Sons is obviously the sons of these legends who are now in current times, who are now called upon to protect the Earth with their powers and things like that. And some of them don't even know what their powers are. Similar to the X-Men. I mean, you know, right? It's similar to what they're doing over at AWA Upshot with the Resistance, right? And the Reborns and all of that stuff. Similar to that, you know. Very good stuff. And then, of course, White Widow, issue number 5. Man, I've been waiting to read this for so long. I love this book, man. White Widow is actually a really, really good series. The one that didn't come in was Amped. I didn't see Amped come in, and I never read Amped issue number 1 either, but I'm going to get back to my LCS and make sure that they can get issue number 1 and issue number 2 in as well. And I still need to see if they can get some of the issue number 1s in for a couple of these other books as well. Now, moving into Aftershock, guys, I tried to tell you in that video that I dropped on Monday, but guys, Kaiju Score on Aftershock Comics. This book has already been optioned for a movie. Sony's already good. They're already working. It's already in production for Kaiju Score, right? It's already optioned. Go out and pick it up. If you're a speculator, maybe pick this one up. I picked it up because I like Aftershock Comics, and I usually pick up all their number 1s anyway and read them and see if they're any good anyway. But this one's already optioned for a movie. So if you're one of the speculators out there or anything, or you somebody who thinks that even if you're not, even if you're a collector and you think it might go up in price, Kaiju Score is one you might want to pick up. Already optioned for a movie. Sony's already making it, yes. I haven't got to read this one, but I don't know. I'm not really into like the whole like kaiju, the whole monsters and all that stuff. It's not bad. It's not. It's for me. It's more. I like it more than I like vampires and zombies and magic. So, you know, hey, we'll give it that. Also, guys, Snake Eyes Dead Game issue number 3. I've been enjoying this series. Rob Liefeld, I don't care what you say about him. It's actually a pretty good book. It's actually pretty good. Definitely a very good one. Now, getting into Image Comics, we got Scumbag, issue number 2 this week. But this book, I just don't know. I just don't know about it. It's okay. It's not bad. It's got some slapsticky kind of comedy stuff in it, and I don't know. It's okay. We're 2 issues in though. We'll see how it is. I'll probably just read the first 5 issues and be done. After that, we got the Department of Truth, issue number 3. Now, guys, I've got to say about this series, I've read this book already. This book, like seriously, this book is about people. Everybody out there that I see reviewing this is talking about, oh, it's about conspiracy theories and things like that. This book, The Department of Truth, this book is not. This book right here is not about conspiracy theories. This book is about cancel culture and confirmation bias. That's what this is all about. That's all this is all about. And gatekeeping. Cancel culture, confirmation bias, and gatekeeping, which I guess you could say gatekeeping is kind of cancel culture. Not really, because, hey, there's nothing wrong with gatekeeping to an extent. To an extent, gatekeeping can be okay. It can be okay. But this book is all about cancel culture, confirmation bias, and gatekeeping. That's really all this book is about. And this one, they're really getting into gun violence, shootings in schools and things like that. They're really leaning into that in this issue right here. James Tynan's Department of Truth. It's actually a decent read. I know there are a lot of people out there who would probably get triggered at reading this book, right? There are, and I would get it, but yeah, and you know, and that reminds me, just like the other one I told you, the Scumbag. I'll have to do when I do my review on it. I'll talk about that Scumbag as well. It's much the same. It's much the same. Machine Girl and Space Invaders. I thought the first arc of this one was pretty good. I haven't looked into this one yet to see how it is yet, but also got Bleed Them Dry on Vault Comics. I haven't read this one yet as well, but I do. You know, you guys know I love Vault Comics. Now, what else we got from Vault Comics this week? We've got this one right here. This is the Autumnal issue number 3, man. This is a pretty good book. I like this series. I think this might be Vault Comics' next great horror title. Or is it this one? Maybe this was Vault's next great horror title. And then maybe this is the next one. And then if I'm not mistaken, I think next week. Or next week? I think so. We're going to get another one. Another one. Vault Comics Nightfall series has been great. You know what? There's one that's not even on their Nightfall because it's not quite a horror tale. It's more of a post-apocalyptic tale, but I think it would fall right in line with their Nightfall line, and that's Resonant. Resonant issue number 7 is getting ready to come out soon. Very Very good stuff. I love Resonance. I got it on trade. I've got it on trade paperback. I've got all of the first issues of it. Great stuff. I love it. But I think like, because they've got several that are like that. I mean, like they did Maul, which was a good one, but that was more post-apocalyptic horror. Same with Resonant. I think Resonant falls in there with the horror though. It could fall easily under their Nightfall label, but then they came out with The Plot. Great horror book. I think that was the kickoff. That the plot was the kickoff of their Nightfall line, and then they've started adding more in. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe this was the next one, the Autumnal. This book is good. I like it. So I think this is this their next one? Because if that's the case, then I Walk with Monsters is their next one after this. And then they've got an what is that? I can't remember what the name of the one coming out next month is. But again, it looks like another good horror series. The Nightfall line over on Vault Comics, you gotta get it, man. Good stuff. Now, again, even with the Autumnal, it's not traditional horror like you're getting a bunch of blood and guts and gore and stuff like that. But the things that are going on here, the situations people are dealing with, these familial issues and dealing with their past, and the things that are going on here are horrific. Good stuff here. Good stuff here. Same with I Walk with Monsters. Now, I gotta tell you, I Walk with Monsters is one I already know I'm gonna friggin' love this book. I don't want to spoil too much about it without being in a review, but let's just say that the narrative of this kind of has to do with predators, child predators. Yeah. I thought this first issue was freaking great. I just read this morning. I gotta reread this again. I'm totally into that. I'm totally into reading what's given to me right here. This is freaking great. This is a great book, man. I'm telling you, I really did like this one. Because in case you guys don't know, I forgot Devil's Highway came out on AWA Upshot. I'm gonna order that on trade paperback. But in case you guys don't know, I have 3 kids of my own that I love to death, and I like kids anyway. Kids are great, and I'm pretty much willing to do anything in the world to keep a kid safe, whether it's my kid or not, but especially my kids. I don't like people who prey on kids or anything like that. It's something that I take very seriously, though. I'm not gonna act like I've never made jokes about things like that, clergy jokes and stuff. Come on, it's funny, but I'm very much against the harming of children. I'm very much against protecting children from predators, and this book looks like it's very much going to explore that. I Walk with Monsters in this first issue has already got me wanting to hold it near and dear to my heart. Because just like another book that I like, on Marvel Comics of all places, right? Written by Jen and Sylvia Saska, called Black Widow No Restraints Play, where Black Widow goes to Madripoor because she has a thirst for blood and she wants to take it out on all the right people. So she goes to Madripoor and executes the extreme and righteous justice on human traffickers, child molesters, and all kinds of the sort in Madripoor. And I'm telling you, I love that story. I want more of that story. You give me stories of real heroes going out there and dealing with these things, going out there and exacting justice on this scourge of society. These are the worst kind of people to walk the earth, you're going to have me every time. You're going to have me every time. In case you guys don't know, Black Widow No Restraints Play. Best comic book that came out last year, hands down. One of my favorite of all time, and I will say probably the greatest comic book ever written, just because of the subject matter and what it's dealing with, and the fact that Marvel Comics actually put that book out. It's my favorite, and it's probably always going to remain there. I have children, I fucking love them, and I will do anything in my power to protect them. And that's what I'm saying. This new book, I Walk with Monsters. Go out and buy this book, man. I am telling you, I love it. This character right here, already loving her. But that's just me. That's just me. Maybe I'm the only person who cares about their children and keeping them protected and loves hearing stories about justice being dealt to those who would dare harm the youth out there. I love it. I'll read those stories all day long. Anyway, guys, let's get here into the chat before we go and see what everybody's saying here. Sorry, I went off on a little bit of a tangent again. Oh, Wookie is here. Thank you so much for being here. Let's see. Vape pens are so much stronger than the regular old flower. You know, Reefer, here's the thing about vape pens. Is I don't like them. Like, here's what I have to have flower first, and then the vape pen to maintain. The vape pen can't do it for me, because the flower is it's got the potency that I need. It's got the potency that I need for that immediate, I guess you could say, that immediate relief, where the vape pens just kind of help me maintain that as the day goes on. Yeah. Mike's Wookie was bigger than mine. Oh man, Shang-Chi! I know, dude, I can't wait for the movie. You know about Shang-Chi, a lost brother? His name was Itchy-Chi. Itchy. Oh man. Oh, I just got some bomb banana cream pie. Nice. Got scratched out of existence, sadly. Yeah. I'm indigenous from Canada, and The Red Wolf is a killer series. The Red Wolf. I'll have to check that out. Well, The Red Wolf. I'm gonna remember that. I'll make a note of that. Yeah, I got you with Canada. Yeah, I got you. Reefer says, I read Captain America #1 of this current run, and it was all I needed to read. Well, see, here's the thing, like, Reefer, like, for like the first 10 issues, I really thought the Captain America was a good series for like the first 10 issues. Great stuff. But then it just kind of went on. It's like, okay, like, sometimes we got to move on at some point. Sony still makes movies? Yeah. It's because people want new characters for the old heroes and villains. Yeah. Is it good? Oh, when is the next issue of Bill and Ted coming out? Bill and Ted should be coming out. The last issue should come out, I think, in 2 weeks. NCAP Gamer says, do you see that Deadpool 3 movie writers got changed out due to mud diversity? Yeah, well, I think it was just because, like, I think Disney needed something and someone to come in and, like, I think the people who are going to come in and do that might be the right people to actually pen that script. I'm actually all for that. But I do know what you're saying. I do know what you're saying there with that. certainly. I have all 4 boxes full of Aftershock comics. A lot of them early titles, nothing in the last year and a half or so. Great company. Need to catch up on Animosity and Baby Teeth. Yeah, I've heard both of those are good series too. Yeah, we going over. Yeah, been over. Yeah. For Thanksgiving, just gonna be here chilling with the family, man, enjoying some food, man. What about you, Landon? I hope all is well, and I hope all is well with all of you. I hope all is well with you today and going through these holidays. Each box has about 50 books. Yeah, nice. Comic Man Andy, what is up, my brother? I hope all is well with you, man. Guys, make sure you go check out Comic Man Andy as well. I'm sure he'll be uploading or doing a live video of his comic book haul. Yeah. ReeferMan says, London, I'm so hungry and need some turkey at my mom's. Nice. Oh, Mike Porter says, oh, wait. Here's my new Mount Rushmore. Oh, weird. I always thought they should have put Lincoln in shades anyway, Mike. Right? Yeah. Comic Assassin says, yeah, Resident is good. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you. The thing, and here's the thing. Like, the Comic Assassin, one of my favorite things about Resident is the family aspect of it. Like I said earlier, I've got 3 kids of my own. I see what's going on in the Resident series. And I'm like, I love this. We got the single father with his 3 kids who's getting ready to leave them. These are young kids. Leave them in this post-apocalyptic place all alone for 3 days. This to me says that he's raised 3 kids that he knows and he believes have the capacity and the ability to fend for themselves for 3 days while he's gone, and he ends up getting caught in a human trafficking ring, all kinds of crazy stuff. That to me was a huge thing in that book. I'm like, I love that. I love it. I've got 3 kids of my own. That's something I want to do. Make sure that they are prepared for the world. Yeah. Here's an emoji. Beer for everyone. First round's on me. Says my favorite porter. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and I get a martini. Thank you. Here's for the Star Wars haters. Is that blue milk? Is that blue milk, Mike Porter? Oh, man. Who hates Star Wars? Weirdos. Weirdos. That's who. Yeah, you don't like Guardians of the Galaxy too because of, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, you know Wookiee that happens. Yeah, absolutely. Wait, Disney Star Wars? Disney hates Star Wars. Oh man, Eric Heine, like, dude, rap. We're way past an hour. That yeah, not today. Only 6 in the chat. Next round still on me. All good, man. Hashtag kill the rat. Comic Assassin says, I picked up I Walk with Monsters today, but now Trinity has put it on the top of my stack to read. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, like, I read the book. I wasn't knowing what to expect out of it. I was kind of like, I don't know. We'll see. Man, I'm telling you, I got into that book, and it got into some of the stuff that was going on, and I'm like, ooh, this book sunk its hooks into me, man. Sunk its hooks into me. But anyway, guys, we're going to end it there. Thank you all so much for being here today. I hope you're all having a very good day. At the beginning of the stream, just talking about some of the X-Men stuff going on out there in the world, especially in this new Dawn of X. And we know how the Ten of Swords has been for a lot of people. But yeah, just talked about some comic books going on today. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know what's on your comic book pull list. What of these comic books do you like? What of these comic books are you reading? What's your favorite read of the week? I would love to know that. But anyway, guys, you all have a good day, and we'll see you in some future videos. And, you know, go out there, read some awesome comic books, watch some great movies. Be prepared for The Mandalorian that's going to be dropping Friday morning. We'll probably talk about that on Friday. Enjoy some time with your family, your loved ones, no matter what you're doing this Thanksgiving. I hope you're having a very good day. I hope you have a good rest of your day and a great rest of your week. And we'll see you all in the next video. Later.